So we are once again in the section where we practice the Bhagavad Gita through the shloks, which I pick up depending on how it gives us something practical to do in our day-to-day lives. And today I have chosen the 14th shlok of the 9th chapter. And as usual, I will chant it. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dhridavrita namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Constantly chanting my names and glories and striving for my realization and bowing again and again to me, those devotees of firm resolve, ever united with me through meditation, worship me with single-minded devotion. If you remember, yesterday we talked about, when we did the 12th shloka, how Bhagwan was telling Arjun how he should not be wasting his precious life, his time, with vain hopes, futile actions, and fruitless knowledge. In this shloka and from this shloka onwards, Bhagwan is giving us the actual method, the secret knowledge that will liberate us from the cycle of life and death. And also, Bhagwan is cautioning us not to give up on our sadhanas, not to give up on our resolve, even if three things happen. Even if old sanskars, we slip into our old sanskars, slip into our old habits, even if, at a particular time of our day, if our, normal timing, if our sattva is overpowered by rajas, let's say, or tamas, even then, or if some old vasana rises from our past, even then, we should not give up on our sadhanas and our resolve. And all this can become possible only if we dedicate our goal to Bhagwan. So let's see what the 5 action points could be for the correct practice of bhakti. This shloka is dedicated to the practice of bhakti. First, Bhagwan says we must have a firm resolve. That means when sanskars arise from the past, which are taking us away from our path, develop titiksha, forbearance. Learn to bear some discomfort of not following the old path of sanskars, habits, negative tendencies. For that, you make one firm sankalp, okay? That no matter what happens, I will continue my practice and remove through that practice the mal, the vikshep, and all those kind of tendencies which make me get distracted from my path. So, firm resolve. For what? I refuse to get distracted. First point. Then what will help me stay on this path? I strive for realization. So Bhagwan tells you to keep striving towards your goal. Keep doing your purusharth. And sometimes we give up easily because we don't realize the value of the goal. So remember, this goal that you are aiming at is self-realization. It's not some simple, goal of making $1 million or getting thin or buying a house or whatever goals we normally have. They were talking about the goal of self-realization. Bhagwan is saying it clearly, because if you have this, you will be ever united with me. That's what Bhagwan says. So do not let a lapse in your sadhana, means a little break in your sadhana, don't let it become a reason to give it up totally. So strive for realization by not giving up on your goal. That was number 2. Bhagwan says, what will you do as your sadhana? Chant my name constantly. Constantly. So your guru mantra, if you have one, or any mantra which gives the naam smaran of your Ishtadev, of any Bhagwan that you feel connected to, let that become a default setting in your mind. In your mind, it must be a background score. You may be doing some work, some waiting somewhere, doing the household work, even reading somewhere at the back. That background score should be there, that I am connected with Bhagwan. So keep that as something that you all, even if you are, suppose you are very busy doing some report, doing some work, all right, for a few moments, for maybe a few hours, you will be focusing on the work that you're doing. And when you finish, get back to that default setting. Before you start it, get back to that default setting. In between, if you get up to have a glass of water, get back to that default setting. So always remember that this naam of Bhagwan should always be somewhere in the back of your mind. Don't give it up, because Bhagwan is clearly saying, constantly chant my name. All right. Then 4th point he gives, bowing again and again. You know, people will think, what, I have to keep bowing down, keep doing pranam, keep doing, getting down on my knees. No. See, this bowing with the body is just a physical exercise. And that also we don't do properly, we do halfway. So here bowing doesn't mean bowing with the body. It means bowing with the mind, bowing with the heart, dropping the ahankar, surrendering yourself to Bhagwan, tan, man, vachan, surrendering your aham, surrendering your ahankar. That's what it means, bowing again and again. How will that ever happen? By strengthening your Shraddha. When your Shraddha is strengthened, then automatically you feel like being in a state of humility, being in a state of, not trying to show the karta bhav or the bhokta bhav in anything that you do. So bowing again and again, strengthening your faith, strengthening your humility, surrendering your ahankar, surrendering your aham. And then finally, he gives us the 5th point, which is worship with single-minded devotion. Devotion means what? Bhakti. Bhakti means what? Love. So we have so much love for this Vishay, for that movie, for that book, for that person, for that film star, for this location, for this kind of a holiday, for this kind of a food. Our love is simply scattered all over the place for Vishais. Vishais means objects or persons. Bhagwan says, worship with single-minded devotion means gather all this scattered love which is all over the place, bring it together and sublimate it towards love for Bhagwan. So in other words, detach from all your worldly attachments, detach from your false identifications, and then attach to Bhagwan, attach to your true identity. And if you follow these 5 points, Bhagwan almost gives you a guarantee, even in this verse, that you will surely unite with Bhagwan. And from now, all kinds of secrets will be coming out in this beautiful adhyay, which is number 9. Bhagwan is giving us all the advice, more on this tomorrow.